Since the funeral, I need a favor. Don't know who I can trust anymore. Something bad is about to happen.
Oh, hello. Okay, now we are. Now we got Mike. I don't know what happened there. I must have stepped on something. I've been having technical difficulties. Okay, let's start that all over. God damn it, here we go again. Hi, everybody. What is going on? Welcome to VR 365. I am your host, Johnny Ricardo. Welcome to another episode of our show. Okay, but seriously, though, this is VR 365. We are VR gaming news and discussion 365 days a year. And so what day is today? You know, there's 365 odd days in a given calendar year. What day are we on now? Well, we are on May 9th. 5/9/19. That's the way you list it out. We are not in the 5th of, we're not in, the 5th of May. No. It's May 9th. We are in May 9th is what we're talking about here. It is May 9th. It is 2:04 p.m. This is episode 175 of our show. And let's go ahead and get it rolling. And so what I was talking about there, I stepped on my cord or something happened or whatever, but I am back in the mix now. And what I will say is that my damn job is causing major problems when it comes to this show. Okay, because I feel like I've tried to set it up where I can get home from my job and I can have enough time to kind of prepare some topics and stuff and get ready for the show. The problem is, if anything, and I mean anything, if anything else gets in the way of that, then I'm completely screwed and I don't have enough time to set up stories, and then I'm kind of in a panic mode, and then I'm thinking, oh my God, people are going to be tuning in. They want to hear something good. I have nothing for them. What am I going to do? That is my world. Now, some days everything works out great. We got great stories to work with and it's all gizzies and the hizzies. Other days, not so much. But you know what? I'll try to do the best I can do. Also, there's no law that says that this show needs to be an hour and 15 minutes long. There's no law. Nobody's putting a gun to my head forcing me to do this show for an hour and 15 minutes. I could come on and have a 17-minute show and get the hell out of Dodge. Chances are slim. I mean, let's face it. It takes me 17 minutes to talk about any one of these given topics. But you know what? There actually is some pretty good stuff. Some late breaking information has hit. And we've got a couple of decent things anyway, and we'll just see where we end up after all of that goes through. Okay, so let me go ahead and lower this trailer a little bit more here. Okay, so one of the things that I've been noticing around the internet today, especially if you're really into VR gaming, you've probably been noticing this. And let's go ahead and switch over to the Webby browser here, and let's switch over here. Okay, so Star Wars, Vader Immortal. So I forgot to bring this up the other day. We were talking about Vader Immortal. I think we were talking about Vader Immortal. We know that it's $10. Vader Immortal is $9.99. So we know about that. It's $10. And one of the things I forgot to bring up when we were talking about this is that, okay, so this is like Entertainment Weekly, the website Entertainment Weekly, and a lot of little annoying pop-ups all over the damn place when it comes to this website. But they have a pretty big breakdown here on Vader Immortal, talking all about it. And I gotta tell you, I've kind of been avoiding this stuff. I've honestly been avoiding this stuff because dude, Vader Immortal is like 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. This is not a very long experience. I don't want to spoil this crap. I mean, it's short enough as it is. It would be one thing if Vader Immortal was like a 9-hour ordeal and you're spoiling some of the intro sequences for Vader Immortal. That would be one thing. This thing is like a 45-minute deal, maybe 50 minutes, maybe a little bit over an hour. So I don't want to spoil nothing. And it has been a difficult thing to try to avoid spoiling Vader Immortal because there's info all over the damn place. People are already reviewing the game. There's like videos and things that are popping up. So if we went over to the Oculus subreddit here, it's all Vader Immortal all the time. Let me see if I can go ahead and refresh this and make sure this is updated here. Okay, somebody has a post, I am an adult. I'm kind of curious what that might be about. But yeah, Star Wars Vader Immortal Episode 1 Quest Review. That's Upload VR. Vader Immortal Review on IGN, of all places. Oculus will ship out some units before launch. I don't know what that's all about. Let's see. But yeah, there's a lot of Vader Immortal stuff. I've been noticing it all over the place, and I gotta say, I am avoiding it like the plague. Look, the Vader Immortal is what I want to experience on Oculus Quest Day 2019, which of course is May 21st. And good news, I did apply to get May 21st off from work, and it was approved. So I am not going to be at work. So I am going to be chilling. I'm going to sleep in a little bit. I'm going to have a nice breakfast, and I'm bouncing over to GameStop to get my Oculus Quest. And as soon as I get everything up and running, I am downloading Vader Immortal, and I'm playing Vader Immortal, and I don't want the whole thing to be ruined. And you guys shouldn't want to have it ruined either. And, you know, this is something that Gary was talking about, too, from VR Roundtable. Gary was talking about how he's seen, there's just so much... There's so much Oculus Quest information that is out there all over the place. You got a handful of YouTubers, right, that have got the Quest. And, you know, I'd be doing the same damn thing. If I had the Quest right now, I'd be doing all kinds of little goofy videos as well, showing every little menu and everything. And it's hard to avoid all of that. But there is something to be said for getting a brand new console or a brand new product and having that excitement. Now we have the unboxing. We know exactly every little pamphlet that comes out of the thing. Everything is spoiled nowadays. I remember the good old days. I still remember when I got my Super Nintendo. Okay, I actually remember when I got my Super Nintendo. It was a very hot August, 1991, Sacramento, California. Bought it at a Good Guys. I actually bought my Super Nintendo at the Good Guys store that had like a freaking hostage situation where I think a couple of people died. And it was really a horrible thing. But I actually bought my Super Nintendo from that actual location. And I remember bringing my Super Nintendo home and, you know, opening up the whole box, and everything is wrapped in this nice plastic, and you open it all up and it's like, oh my God, it's all brand new. It's shiny. And you're looking at it and you're just thinking, man, there's going to be so many beautiful experiences that this thing is going to provide for me. And the Super Nintendo, hell yes, that is probably, honestly, as like I used to be a retro gamer kind of before I got into VR gaming. And the Super Nintendo, bar none, like pound for pound, dollar for dollar, I don't think anything can touch this Super Nintendo, because back in August of 1991, it was kind of late August of 1991, it was $199.99. It was $200. Now, of course, adjusted for inflation, that'd be a hell of a lot more, right? But pound for pound, I don't know of a better system than the Super Nintendo. It was a beautiful thing, and I was opening it up, and I had a brand new controller, and I had a brand new Super Mario World cartridge, and it's a beautiful thing. But now everything is freaking spoiled rotten, like you wouldn't believe. You know, we've seen, how many unboxing videos have we now seen for the Rift S or the Quest? And it takes a little bit of that magic away. Because for me, I like getting down on the ground. You know, getting down on the ground, you have your box, you're on the carpet, you're just kind of kicking back, you're opening it up, you're taking everything out, you're looking at the little pamphlets. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but like when I open a brand new system, I try to keep everything like really, like I don't rip it all apart. I don't just like rip open the plastic and get, like I'm carefully taking off the tape, and then I put the tape. I like trying to keep everything pristine. I I don't know why, but I always do it. And I try to keep everything in the box and keep it all looking nice and new. And then you want to know an even crazier thing? So here's an even crazier thing. Sometimes I actually take the console box, whatever it is, and I try to keep it as much like the original day that I opened it as possible. And then I'll even put it back into the plastic bag or whatever that it came in. And I actually put it up in my attic. I'm not even joking. I have boxes in my attic. I have like a PlayStation 3 box in my attic, an Xbox 360 box up in my attic. And the last time those boxes saw the light of day was the first day I had them. And so I put them away. I don't know why. It's a dumb thing. I guess I think maybe one day they're going to be worth money or something. I don't know. They're probably not. These products are so overwhelmingly popular. So many millions of them are made that it isn't really that rare. But yeah, Vader Immortal, it's a bit oversaturated in the Vader Immortal department. So I'm avoiding everything. So sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to be reporting on apparently like the lightsaber gameplay and all of that. And you guys in chat, I don't even want to look at what you're talking about in chat. If you're talking about lightsabers and stuff, I'm saving that experience for Quest Day 2019. You know, it's a national holiday. Quest Day 2019. And the audacity, the absolute audacity of these other companies and developers and publishers that are putting out a game on Quest Day. Why would you put out a game on Quest Day? It's Quest Day, man. Don't put your game out on Quest Day. Everybody's Golf VR. But you know what? Speaking of Everybody's Golf VR, why don't we talk about that for a second? Because we heard about it yesterday. We heard that the demo is kind of really quite lame. You know, we've heard that the demo is quite lame. Let me see if I can find the Everybody's Golf trailer. Okay, here it is. Yeah, so yesterday we heard all about Everybody's Golf, that there's a demo. I think it was on the UK store. Now I believe it's everywhere now. And there's a demo for this game, but you don't actually get to play a legitimate hole of any of the 3 courses. There's 18 holes times 3, but we don't get to play any of those holes. Now you get to look at one hole. You actually get to look at it. And so I did try this out, and I actually have a Let's Play that's on the channel of me checking it out. And the main thing I wanted to check out in this game is the chicks. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But you know what? I'm telling you, they kind of lean into that a little bit. I felt like I was in some kind of little anime thing for a second there. And I was like, nah, I'm not in this. This ain't no anime thing. This, you know, so I don't know what I was doing there for a second. But one of the cool things that I was able to check out by trying this Everybody's Golf demo is you're able to, first of all, you're using a singular move controller. So you only need one move controller. You don't need to turn on 2 move controllers. They show, you know, that's what they're showing in the video here, a singular move controller. So if you've got only one working move controller, you're all good. And then the other thing that you're seeing here in the trailer is how you hold your controller. The good news is you can actually hold your controller just like you would a real golf club, pretty much for the most part. And that's a beautiful thing, because I can't do that with an Oculus Touch controller. You can't do that. You would need some kind of like Pro Tube kind of a thing. You know, you need some PVC pipe helping you out there to try to hold it like an actual golf controller. And you could do that with the PlayStation Move. But the thing I wanted to see is, what does the game engine look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? And I was able to check that out, checking this demo out. So basically what they do is, when you get into this demo, you go to like a driving range. And basically they let you get all different clubs, and you get to hit the balls, and you kind of get to feel the feel of it. And you know, the vibration is pretty good. The rumble effects, the sound effects, all of it was pretty good. The production value, I feel, is actually really quite good as well. This is Clap Hands. These guys have been making Hot Shots Golf and Everybody's Golf going all the way back to the very late in the life cycle of the original PlayStation. Like, they were doing this before PlayStation 2, before Vita and all of that. They've been making Hot Shots Golf and Everybody's Golf. They've been doing it for like 20-something years. You figure these guys are damn near sick of golf by this time, because that's what they're known for. Clap Hands is known for doing this golf game, and the production value is really nice. In fact, I was in like a little lodge where it almost looked like a hotel, and I was talking to this lady there, and I'm looking around at the lodge, and I kind of wish there was free locomotion and I could kind of go explore this lodge and just kind of walk around and check everything out. Wasn't able to do that, but I was able to try the different clubs. The clubs, for the most part, feel and look pretty good. Maybe some of the clubs seemed like about 7 or 8 inches longer than real life. Yeah, I know. And then the other thing that was really irritating, and this legitimately did bother me, and I don't know why this was happening, but like my club, I'm holding my club, and the club would keep disappearing and reappearing. And it wasn't the tracking, because I was dialed in. I was in a good tracking position. So it wasn't like I was moving in and out of camera range. I don't know why the club was disappearing like that. That was a little bit bothersome. The other thing that kind of bothered me as well is you put your hands on, you're putting your hands on the PlayStation Move, and you're holding it like a golfer. And they do give you hands in the game where you're gripping it properly like a golf club. But again, the hands started disappearing, and instead it was showing me a representation of my Move controller, and my hands were disappearing. And that was kind of annoying as well. But everything felt good. I'm excited for this. I think this is going to be a solid golf game. We need a solid golf game. I think it's going to be fun, colorful, cheerful. What's the price on this? I don't remember the price. I'm going to guess that this is like $29.99, but I don't know off the top of my head. Do you guys know what the price of this is? Is it $29.99, $39.99? If it's $29.99 or less, I'm perfectly good with it. If it's like $35, I'm like, eh. If it's $39, I think that may be a wee bit on the expensive side. It's just golf, and it's three courses. You get 18 holes. Did anybody else try this out? What did you guys think about it? I heard there's also some little tricks that you could possibly do in this demo that might allow you to do some extra things. Like, somebody was saying something about hitting the circle button. Like, they didn't realize that if you hit the circle button, you could do this or that. I'm not sure what the hell they were talking about there, but maybe I'll go into the demo one more time and check it out. But I thought it looked pretty good. So that is Everybody's Golf. That demo is out there. You can get it on the US PlayStation Store now, so it's probably everywhere. I actually grabbed it from, it's $29. Okay, great Tantrum. Thank you so much for checking in. $30. Yeah, $30, that's good. $30 is fine. I don't have a problem with $30. Anything higher would have been a little bit overboard there. Okay, so what else is going on in the news? Well, guess what, guys? We've got some musical chairs that are going on at Facebook and Oculus. So let's go ahead and take a look at this story. So let's bounce over here to the Webby browser. And so Hugo Barra is leaving the Oculus team for a new position. I guess he's not going to be on the Oculus team anymore, and he's going to Facebook. He's going to be the Global AR VR Partner Initiative, and he's basically going to start a new wing of Facebook that is going to be based in New York City. New York City! And so he's going to be based in New York City, and it's all about AR. It's all about VR. It's about an ecosystem. It's about partnerships with a lot of different companies. There's a shakeup going on. There's a shakeup going on over at Oculus. What the shakeup is about exactly, I'm not exactly sure what the shakeup is about. Where is Blake J. Harris when you need him? But let's go to the tweet window, and we can see what these guys have been tweeting out, because not only Hugo Barra is switching positions, but also Jason Rubin, Mr. Naughty Dog himself, he is switching positions as well. Demoted? Have these guys been demoted? Have they been fired? I mean, I don't know. but it's a little bit interesting about what's going on over here. Okay, so let's go to the tweet window. We can check this out. Okay, so this is Hugo Barra. He tweeted this out. Taking a new role at Facebook, building a global AR VR partner ecosystem based in New York City. After 2+ amazing years of enjoying wonderful weather in California, now I'm going to crappy ass New York City. Okay, no, not exactly. Okay, after 2+ amazing years leading the @Oculus team with Quest shipping on Quest Day 2019, it's recognized on all calendars. With Quest shipping on May 21st, our first gen VR lineup is now complete. Time for me to take on the next big challenge, bringing AR and VR to more people. And what's going on here? Okay, also, Hugo Barra, he is being replaced by Eric Zing. I believe Eric Zing is how you pronounce it. Eric Zing is the former director of product management. He's going to be taking his spot, but also Jason Rubin. So let me go ahead and grab Jason Rubin's tweet because Jason Rubin is changing positions as well. So I'm going to grab Jason Rubin's tweet, and here it is. I have a new role at Facebook. Vice President of Special Gaming Initiatives, working on positively impacting game communities. Related, @Michael_Verdu is joining Oculus as Director of Content. I will continue to work with Mike and at Oculus Gaming to bring bigger and better content to VR. Okay, I got to admit, I don't know. Look, I don't have firsthand knowledge. I don't know what exactly is going on over here, but I kind of feel like this is a bit of a demotion for Jason Rubin because he was Director of Content. Now, that's a job I would love. Like, I would love to be, I don't necessarily want to be Director of Content, but I would love to be like an assistant. Like, my dream job, like if you ask me what is my dream job in VR gaming, if I could be Jason Rubin's assistant, if he was still the Director of Content and I was his assistant and he would send me off and he'd be like, Anthony, I need you to fly to this city or this country because I need you to check out this game, and this game, see what they're doing, check it out, report back to me, make sure that they know what they're doing here, blah, blah, blah. I would love to do that. Like, that would be a dream come true. I would love a job like that. And so that's a dream job that he had, Director of Content. He got to check everything out. He got to keep tabs on all these different studios, Insomniac and 4A Games and all these different Respawn Entertainment, all these different companies out there. He would go talk with them, meet with them, see the games, and experience them. Now he's Vice President of Special Gaming Initiatives. I just don't know that he was like, oh, please, Zuck, please, can I be the Vice President of Special Gaming Initiatives so I can work on positively impacting game communities? I kind of doubt it, but I don't know. Maybe he really did want to do that. But Michael Verdu is the guy that is taking this back over. So let's go ahead and go back over here to our Webby browser. So you guys might want to know who these other guys are. Okay, so Hugo Barra basically was the head guy at Oculus. He was pretty much the head guy at Oculus in that division starting in 2017 and then in all of 2018, so far in 2019, but not anymore. He's going to New York. The guy that's replacing him is this guy right here, Eric Zing. And I believe this guy is... he's the, let me see if I can find it here. He is the Director of Product Management at Oculus. And he had a comment about this as well. He said, I'm excited to get back into like the consumer space with a consumer product. And so he is basically going to be like the head of Oculus at this current point in time, Eric Zing. And then the guy that is taking over for Jason Rubin is Michael Verdu. And this is the guy right here. This guy right here, he was formerly with Electronic Arts Mobile Division. And so now he is going to be the director of content. So, Michael Verdu, do you need an assistant that will fly around the world and check out all these different developers and bring a whip and make sure that I whip them into shape and get their games proper? Hook, give me a call, bro. I'm down to jump on board. Because that would be a cool job. That would probably be the coolest job in VR gaming. Would be to bounce around from company to company and see what they're doing, sample unknown games that nobody has a chance to see like years ahead of time. That would be a sweet position to have. But yeah, it's a musical chair situation. Let's see if we have any other quotes that are popping off over here. Yeah, so Jason Rubin says, he'll be continuing to work on more great content for VR while exploring other exciting game-related opportunities wherever they may be. And, yeah, so, it definitely, something is afoot. Like these are two major guys in the Oculus scenario. And for both of these guys to be like going in different directions, two new guys coming in, something got shaked up. Something is going on behind the scenes here. Now, is this maybe a big augmented reality thing? Have they kind of decided, okay, well now the Quest, the launch is in, so now, we've got our three products. It's the Rift S, it's the Oculus Quest, it's the Oculus Go. We've got our three products. These are the products we're focusing on at this point in time. So Hugo, we want you to bounce over to New York, and we want you to get this AR thing and start making partnerships. Maybe it's an augmented reality thing. Maybe there's a big augmented reality thing that's going on over at Facebook. That could be a possibility. Not sure about that. But let's go ahead and bounce back over to our standard scene. Let me see what, let me get my chat popped out over here and let's see what some of you guys are talking about. Okay, let me scroll this down and open this up a little bit. Okay, let's see if anybody is talking about this. Sounds like PC VR at Oculus is pretty much history. That is Laser Rob. I wonder about that. I've actually, and Kevin says, Oculus has been a flop in Facebook's eyes. Well, the one thing I would say about like Oculus, I do believe like if Zuckerberg could rewind time, I don't think he would have paid as much money as he paid for Oculus. I absolutely do not think that would happen. If we could rewind time, I don't think that would happen. I don't think he would pay that money. So yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people at Oculus that are completely uninterested in VR and AR, and they're not buying into this idea that this is going to be the next computing platform, and they're not true believers. And then the fact that the sales of all of this have kind of been tepid at best. And then you've got Valve trying to just beat that ass down with the Valve Index, and they're going to take the high end now. I don't know. Could it be the beginning of the end for PC VR? There's one point I can make though. Even if Oculus, like let's say for example that your worst fears were realized, if you're a hardcore Oculus fanboy and you've always been a big time Oculus fanboy and you want high-end PC VR like Brass Tactics and these games that we're seeing on the trailer, this is what you're all about. You want high-end VR. You don't want to slum it with a mobile processor. You want high-end VR. That's what you're all about. Now, your worst fear is that Oculus says, you know what, F this, we don't need mobile VR. I mean, we don't need PC VR. We're going to go standalone 100%. That's your worst fear, right? But even if that was a scenario, it'd be very difficult for them to just walk away from PC VR. They've already got this ecosystem that is up and running. They've got hundreds of thousands, maybe nearly 1 million people that are using Oculus Rifts around the world. They're buying content. They have accounts. They can't just stop this. I mean, how do they stop this? How do you pull the plug on the Oculus Rift and PC VR? Like, if Oculus was really going to step away, how do they do that exactly? Like, I guess the way they do it is slowly but surely they just stop talking about it. and they stopped talking about PC VR related things. They stopped signing deals with other large companies. Because like if we think about the games that we know, of course, about Asgard's Wrath. We know about Defector. We know about Stormland. We know about Lone Echo 2, Dead and Buried 2, all these different games like Shadow Point and Journey of the Gods. We know about all these games, Vader Immortal, etc. And so I guess if they really were going to step away, then we're not going to hear any more of these announcements. So like the Respawn game would pretty much be the last big one. They would still have games coming, and I think they would still have additional smaller companies still making a few exclusives for them here and there, but it would just start to fade away. But they can't just like turn it off and say, bye everybody, sorry, it's over. We're going to flip the switch and turn it. I mean, they got all these servers that they're running and everything. It would be a very difficult thing for them to just straight up walk away from PC VR and never look back. And that could be what's going on. And it could be a slow burn kind of a situation where we're not really going to realize this. We're not going to know it for sure until we get into like summer 2020 and there hasn't been any announcements forever of any kind of Oculus exclusives and things are kind of winding down. They haven't talked about, they're not talking about any new headsets or anything. Then, the writing might be on the wall, but they still got to keep these servers alive and stuff. That's going to be weird if they really do transition out of that and abandon PC VR gaming. I hope that's not the case. That would kind of suck if that is the case. But you know what we got to talk about, folks, is the daily deal. Because Oculus Rift, it still exists right now. And as long as the Oculus Rift still exists, we are going to continue to have daily deals. So let's go ahead and take a look at the daily deals. And here's a game, Damaged Core. Okay, so this game was like a really big game in the early days of VR gaming for Oculus. This was before touch controllers, before touch, BT, AT after touch, BT before touch. This is before touch. And Damaged Core was one of these games that people were kind of raving about back in the days. High Voltage Software is a developer. You can see the release date, August 30th, 2016. And when this game came out, okay, well, let me give you the price and everything. So a little bit of a discount here, 25% off, not a major discount. We're talking $15. Normal price is $20. So basically you're getting a 5 spot, an extra 5 spot, which go ahead, take that 5 spot and throw it into PayPal. Throw it my way, baby. I will put it towards a VR headset, guaranteed, or a 2080 Ti, absolutely guaranteed. So there's a little bit over 9 hours left in this deal. It is available out there. But what I was going to say is, in the early days, I didn't have an Oculus Rift at all. I was an HTC Vive guy. In fact, right around this time, August of 2016, I was doing a podcast called The Vivecast. Welcome to The Vivecast. And it had a cool little intro, and I did like a little deep Barry White voice type of thing. Welcome to the Vive. I don't even remember what the hell the intro was, but I know it was something like that. But yeah, back at that time, I didn't have an Oculus Rift, but I was listening to all kinds of podcasts and stuff, and I did hear people kind of ranting and raving about Damaged Core. And the reason this game was like a big deal for a quick minute is because this game, you're using a freaking Xbox controller. It's not even tracked. That's what the Oculus Rift originally shipped with, right? And so the problem of locomotion was a very big problem. But they solved it with the design of this game by saying basically you look at a robot, you hit a button, and then bam, you're that robot. And so they solved the whole the whole locomotion problem by basically allowing you to teleport. You look at a robot, you hit a button, you teleport to the robot. You look at another robot, you hit a button, you teleport to the robot. And that was the idea behind this game. And it was one of the first games on Oculus that kind of had this kind of ability. And so everybody was like really into it. Now, the truth is, so much time later now, this is kind of like a forgotten thing. Did they ever add, by the way, touch control to this game? Or do you have to actually pull out an old Xbox 360 controller to play Damaged Core? But anyway, yeah, Damaged Core is the deal of the day. Seeing what some other people are talking about here on chat. Panoptic says, I rarely play Oculus content and stopped buying on the platform. I only play DCS, X-Plane, and Truck Sim, so I can see why they may walk away. Panoptic, considering you're into those types of games, are you hyped for HP Reverb or maybe for the Acer Oho Concept D? Because according to like Sebastian, those are the ideal type of games that would make you really interested in that. NV1790 says simply just cut the service. They can't do that. That would be, they can't do that. They can't do that. They have to slowly back away and like eventually start shutting certain servers down, like slowly over time. It's going to be very annoying for them if they really are going to abandon PCVR. It's going to be a really annoying thing for them over the next couple of years, because they're going to be walking on eggshells because they got to back away slowly from it, because there's just no other way to do it. Okay, Steve Drumheller says games like Vader Immortal should help get more people into VR, especially on the Quest. The Void VR Arcade brings in $40 to $50 for a 50-minute experience just because it is Star Wars. Yeah, Vader Immortal. Well, this is why I had that huge argument that one day. There was one day, I don't know if you saw it, Steve Drumheller, but one day I went a bit psycho on this show, and it's pretty easy to find it because just look for the thumbnail where I'm like, and there's like a Darth Vader picture behind me, and I'm like, what's going on here? I was hella pissed because I wanted Vader Immortal to be a major exclusive just for the Quest for a while, just for a while, because I really thought it would give the Quest some extra hype. And I thought, maybe that's why Hugo Barra is being sent to New York City and Jason Rubin is going to be doing freaking community work, because they didn't market this thing right. And they should have followed my ideas. They blew it on Vader Immortal. Zuck is pissed. See, Zuck finally saw that episode of mine. And I was calling for heads to roll. And Zuck, Zuck's a little bit behind. He's trying to catch up on back episodes. So he finally saw my Vader Immortal episode and decided, yep, you're right, Anthony. Hugo Barra, get the hell out of Dodge. You're going to New York immediately. Hop on a plane. But yeah, so Panoptic says, yes, I will get the HP Reverb. What's your IPD, though? What's your IPD? Panoptic says, I am divesting from Oculus PCVR. It's weird though, because we do have this cross-buy thing as well. Like, how do you factor cross-buy into it? Because cross-buy is going to complicate matters as well. If they really want to back away from PCVR, then that ruins cross-buy. Like, I don't know. It's going to be weird. We're just going to have to be patient. We're just going to have to wait. Skid Row says, no, let me play Vader on my Pimax on the 21st of May. Hell no. And you got it backwards. Don't you mean May 21st, right? No. No. That should not happen. And Steve Drumheller, he agrees with me. And Steve knows what's going on. Scion VR says, I don't agree with Oculus' strategy. Well, from a pure business standpoint, why wouldn't you agree with their strategy? You should agree with their strategy. This is the smart business strategy. As much as we don't like it, for Oculus, this is why you never sell to Facebook in the first damn place. Because Facebook is a giant behemoth of an organization. They are slave to their shareholders and their stock price. and a small niche market does nothing for them. They will abandon all this shit like a freaking heavy rock. Or like a lead balloon or whatever you want to say. They will abandon this shit in a heartbeat as soon as they feel like it has no more viability for them. Right now, they do believe that VR and AR is the next computing platform in some type of form or way, and they want to be there on day one, and they want to have a big investment in that on day one, and it's all about standalones, and it's all about the Oculus Quest, and they're going to have an AR headset that's obviously going to be standalone as well, so they're kind of moving more towards this, but I don't know that they're abandoning the PC. I think we might be jumping to conclusions right about now. Okay, so another thing that is going on in the VR gaming world. Let's go back over to the Webinal browser here. And you know what? We've got a date on a hot new release that is coming in the month of May. This very month, on May 30th. Get ready, ladies and gentlebots, because you know what? I played this game last night. It is called Space Ops VR. I've played it a couple of times, but I went back into it last night because I remembered, man, Space Ops VR was fun. I had a lot of fun playing this game. I played it for a while, and then I started to play pros, and then I was playing Boiling Steel, and I was trying some other games, and then there was like, Table of Tales and some PlayStation VR stuff, and I got distracted, and I forgot about Space Ops VR. But I went back in it last night. I was playing it last night, and there's something about this game. I like the feel of it. It feels good. It is Action Jackson like none other. I mean, this is a straight up Action Jackson kind of a game. You get a gun, you look at some stuff, and you shoot the living crap out of it. And one thing I was thinking too is I was thinking about rendered reality, because on their podcast they were talking about gun stocks, and they were talking about if there's any game where you have two-handed weapons, gun stocks are nice. And I started to think about, I would love to have a gun stock while I was playing Space Ops VR, because a lot of the times I did have a two-handed weapon, and I was holding it out like this, and I was looking down, the sights, and I'm holding it like this. And I can tell you what, when you hold your hands like this for long enough, it starts to get tiring just holding your hands like this. It really does. It starts to wear on you after a while. So I kind of wish I did have a gun stock. It'd feel a little bit better when I was holding it like that. But dude, Space Ops VR, this is no joke. Like, this game is pretty legit. I am very impressed with this game. And it's like got multiplayer and co-op and all this stuff. My one worry about it is it might be a bit short. But you know what? There's a brand new trailer for this game. There's a brand spanking new trailer, because all we had before, we had a little teaser trailer that lasted like 12 seconds. And I'm not even joking about the 12 seconds. It was the most teaser trailer ever. Now we have a trailer that lasts a whopping 1 minute and 10 seconds or something like that. So we got a little bit more time. Let's check out this brand new trailer. It's the developer is DevCube Studio. These are the guys that have made Far Home. It's not showing it on here, but I think this is Far Home is the other game that these guys did. And I got to tell you, man, after playing Space Ops VR, I need to contact these bros and see if I can get a key for Far Home, because these guys got some decent skills. I'll give them that. This is the other game they made. It's got mixed reviews, came out on April 5th, 2018. And graphically, you can notice some similarities there. But Space Ops VR, it has been dated for May 30th. I'm absolutely looking forward to it. But why don't we go ahead and check this trailer? So we're going to bounce back over here to our standard scene. I'm going to pump the volume up on this blank window. And let's grab the trailer for Space Ops VR. Brand new trailer. Let me find it here. All right, well, that is Space Ops VR. It is coming on May 30th. And yeah, Paradise has tried out the playable version that is out there. He enjoyed it. Like, for me, look, I'm not going to rant and rave and sit. Like, this is not the greatest. Like, this ain't going to be in the top 50 at VR game rankings, I don't think, on anybody's list. Like, this is not going to go down as one of the greatest VR games we've ever seen. But the thing I like about it is the sound is good, the graphics is good, the action is good, the controls is good. Like, I just had a good time playing this game. I think the creatures are pretty impressive. Everything seems to work good. And honestly, the thing that I like most about this game is when I'm running around inside this world, I don't know, there's something about these like open spaces that it has. It's kind of like this arena thing, and you're kind of like moving through these areas, and you're trying to get through these areas as fast as possible. But you're like in these big open areas, these big, like an outdoor mall or something. It's like these big open areas, and there's something about being out in these big open areas, and it feels good. It just has a good feeling to me. Hopefully the price is like relatively reasonable in terms of when they price this game. And there is some co-op and multiplayer that you can do. I've mostly just basically done single player as I've gone through this, but I've enjoyed it. I've already done a Let's Play for this, so you can go ahead and check out my Let's Play. But yeah, I think this is actually, there's some surprising indie smaller games. Like Pros was very good. We've got this thing. We've got like Boiling Steel. There are some games that are flying under the radar. Now, unfortunately for DevCube Studio and Fibram, the publisher of this game, the unfortunate reality for these guys is, goddamn, are you jumping into a market that is going to have so many games all arriving? Because, see, this is coming out on May 30th, and Trevor Saves the Universe on PC comes out a few days later. There's a lot of games, and those of us that have PlayStation VR, we're going to be playing Blood and Truth, and we're going to be playing Hot Shots Golf, and Everybody's Golf, and then you've got everybody with their quests. They're going to be playing all these quest games, and then if my Nostradamus predictions come true, Dead and Buried 2 is going to be out on Rift. Dance Central is going to be out on Rift. If Sebastian's sources are right, we're going to be playing Stormland. That's the biggest problem that some of these games are going to have, is that they're going to have to compete with all of that stuff. Like if this game came out a couple of weeks ago when shit was really slow and there wasn't much going on, this game could have been the hotness. Everybody could have been talking about it, and they could be saying, oh yeah, dude, Space Ops VR is actually really good. Space Ops VR is really good. You'd hear people saying that. But man, there's so many games that are coming so very soon that this game might get lost in the shuffle. The only other thing I'll say about it that does bother me about this game is there's a background song, there's this background music that is playing as you go through this game, and I've played like 4 or 5 levels of this game, and I think that same background music is running through all 4 or 5 levels that I've played so far of this. And I'm like, okay, mix it up now. Give us a different song. Give us a different background melody to have playing in the background, because it did get annoying. That did get annoying, to be sure. But yeah, that is Space Ops VR. Not too bad. Another good game to look for. Okay, well, that is all of the pre-built stories that I kind of was able to scramble together coming into this show. But yeah, Dead Space, oh my god, dude, don't even start me on Dead Space. I loved Dead Space. In fact, dude, Electronic Arts, just give me the original Dead Space in VR. That's all I don't even want like Dead Space 2 or Dead Space 3 or any new Dead Space. Just give me Dead Space 1 in VR. Oh, that would be so good. I love Dead Space. And that would be scary, man. Dead Space in VR would be pretty goddamn scary. The closest we got to that was probably The Persistence. The Persistence on PlayStation VR is probably the closest we ever got to Dead Space. Yeah, Lo-Fi looks sweet. I'm really hyped for Lo-Fi. Absolutely. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and bounce over to Upload VR and let's just see if there's any like new news stories or anything. I didn't see anything, but we can take a quick check of a couple of the major websites out here and see what the hot news stories of the day are. So let's go ahead and bounce over there. So we're over here at Upload VR, and one of the things they're talking about here, boxing-focused VR exercise game, Box VR, now on PlayStation VR. Yeah, it's been there for a while, actually. Like, this actually released in, like, the last day of April, I think, for PlayStation VR. It's been out for a while. Not sure why people are just mentioning it now. One thing I will say, though, I can't remember what show it was that was talking about this, but somebody was really ranting and raving about Box VR and PlayStation VR. But they were saying that the price, $30 is kind of a little bit pricey. But a couple different people really enjoyed this on PlayStation VR. And if you're looking for a game that is going to get you to burn some calories, that is probably the game for that. Vader Immortal, I'm not looking at it. I don't want to see it. I don't know nothing about it. Okay, VR needs a hero, while Battlefield and Rovio developers are betting on headsets. Don't know what that is about. Oculus Rift S and Valve Index won't work on laptops with only HDMI. What? I didn't know about this. Oh, that kind of sucks. Imagine if you had a really good gaming laptop that happens to have HDMI, you would be straight up boned. So you can't even use like the adapter? You can't even use the adapter? Okay, Valve Index VR headset also uses DisplayPort, and while it doesn't include a mini DisplayPort adapter, you can find them on Amazon for around $10. Okay, so you can't use an adapter? If your laptop doesn't have DisplayPort or mini DisplayPort, however, but does have a USB Type-C port, you might be in luck with two conditions. Okay, so it appears that this is like some kind of an inside baseball type of a thing. The headache of this situation is why all major VR companies created the Virtual Link standard. While currently only one laptop supports the standard, by next generation of VR, hopefully most gaming laptops will. So it's kind of a detailed thing. If it's a Thunderbolt 3 port, it will usually have a lightning bolt symbol beside it. If it displays DisplayPort Alt mode, it'll usually have the letters DP. Yeah, this is complicated, man. Why does it have to be so goddamn complicated? But that would really suck if you had a pretty good gaming laptop, because a Rift S with a really good gaming laptop is actually a nice combination. It's a nice portable combination. I've mentioned a number of times, like when I go on a trip, I take my Oculus Go with me whenever I go on trips. Oh, speaking of that, hold on one second. I'm going to grab my bag that has my Oculus Go. Hold on one sec. Okay, so let me switch back over to the standard scene here. So yeah, when I go on trips, I typically take my Oculus Go with me. And this is the bag that I use. And this is like an old bag that was used for like camcorders or something back in the day. And basically I just stuff my Oculus Go into this thing. And I'll show you kind of what it looks like. Because see, a lot of people are about to get their Oculus Quest, and they're gonna, they sell like custom bags for it and stuff. But you could get away with using a bag like this. Like, see, my Oculus Go is in here. And so there's my Oculus Go. And so I just put it down in here. And then if I had an Oculus Quest, I imagine I could stuff it in there like that. And then I could just take one touch controller, set it in there, take another touch controller. They'd kind of be banging around. They'd be banging around a little bit. I do have this front spot here. Like in this front spot, sometimes I'll have like, my little like, here's my little Oculus Go thing, and then I'll have like my charging cables and stuff, and then this is to clean the lens, and I put all my stuff in there like that. So basically what I'm trying to say is you don't necessarily need to buy some fancy schmancy Oculus Go emblazoned special carrying case. Just look in your closet, man. If you have an old camcorder case that you don't use anymore, or go to a thrift store, you might find a case like this for like $5-10, and it might work actually absolutely perfect for your Oculus Quest. The one concern though I have about stuffing my Oculus Quest into this is because of the strap. The strap that's on the headset. I do have a little bit of a concern about that. Because see, the strap of the Go, like if we look at this Go strap, let me turn down this volume on this trailer. Because if you look at this Go strap, you know, it's flimsy. It doesn't do anything, right? But the Oculus Quest strap is kind of like a rubber. It's like more of a rubber strap, and so it might be hard to kind of squeeze it in here. And then you wouldn't want it to be like if you squeezed it in here and you left it in here for like a week, and then now it like doesn't unravel the right way. That would be my only concern. But yeah, just see if you have a bag already. You don't necessarily need to buy a brand new bag. But what I was saying is, whenever I go on a trip, I take my Oculus Go. Now when I go on a trip, I'm going to be taking my Oculus Quest. But if I was balling out of control and I had a really cool gaming laptop, yeah, why not? Why not take a Rift S and take a gaming laptop? Because then you could be playing Stormland or something. You could be in your hotel room, and now you're not bored as hell. Now you're playing freaking Stormland in your hotel room, and you could have a great experience. You know, you're running at 80 hertz, you're slumming it at 80 hertz. You get a powerful gaming laptop. You could be in business. So it's something to think about. Absolutely. All right. So let's see. What were we talking about here? Oh yeah. We were over on Upload VR. So let's go ahead and go back to Upload VR. So yeah, that is bizarre. This is a little bit bizarre. Okay, let's go to Road to VR and see if there's any stories over here. Oh, I didn't mention this story. Swords of Gargantua. So this is a game. We have this ranked. It is ranked on our top 80 most wanted PC VR games. Swords of Gargantua, and it's about to head into open beta next week. Okay, so this is being developed by a Japanese-based studio, Gummy Incorporated and Yomuniko. It's a melee-focused sword game, Swords of Gargantua, and it is heading into open beta soon for the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive. So here's the update. It says, Gumi Incorporated and Yomuniko, I cannot pronounce nothing right now, today announced that Swords of Gargantua is headed soon for open beta testing, which will be available through Steam and the Oculus Store. The worldwide open beta will take place between May 15th and Oculus Quest Day, May 21st. To download, head over to the game's Discord channel for instructions. Additionally, Yomuniko is also throwing a giveaway that could see one skilled player receive a RTX 2080, brah. You could get a 2080, brah. Players will compete in the multiplayer beginning quest, and the individual player with the highest score on the multiplayer leaderboard at the end of the open beta wins. Okay, so yeah, this is Swords of Gargantua, and I think the big idea with this game is it's all about the physics. It's all about like one-on-one sword fighting. Like that's what they really wanted to dial in with this game, is one-on-one sword fighting. And I think there are some like betas and stuff that have already been out there, maybe for like people in the press. I've never tried this, but with this open beta coming up on May 15th, it's around the corner. So maybe I'll go ahead and try it then. So yeah, that is in the news as well. So I did want to just mention that as well. Okay, what else did I want to mention? Oh, you know what? There's one other thing I forgot to mention, guys. This is going back to the deal that was the deal of the day, Damaged Core. Okay, so going back over here, our daily deal is Damaged Core, right? And the developer of Damaged Core is High Voltage Software. And these guys ring a bell, man. High Voltage Software. Like, I was like, is that the same High Voltage Software that used to make all the freaking Sega Genesis games and stuff like back in the days, or like Sega Saturn and stuff? And you know what? I looked it up, and it is. Check this out. Okay, so here's the Wikipedia page for High Voltage Software. These guys have been around a long, long time. They were founded back in 1993. And if you kind of look at the games they've come out with, like Star Trek Starfleet Academy, Starship Bridge Simulator on like Super Nintendo and the 32X. You know, they did like NBA Jam Tournament Edition for Atari Jaguar. They did Tempest 2000 for Sega Saturn. They did World League Basketball, which was on the computers and stuff. NCAA Final Four 97 on PlayStation. They did Paperboy on Nintendo 64. A lot of sports games like NFL Quarterback Club, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance on GameCube. So they've kind of been a porting studio. The Haunted Mansion, Disney's Haunted Mansion, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Call of Duty 2, Big Red One on GameCube. So they've kind of been, but these guys have been around for a minute. I knew that these guys have been around for a long time because I was like, wow, is that the same high voltage software that I heard about 1,000,000 years ago? And yes, it is. And so most recently, they did Damaged Core and Dragonfront, and they Live to Destroy. And I think, you know what? They're working on a Quest game as well. But I don't know we don't know what Quest game they're working on right now. But I believe these guys are working on a Quest game because I'm pretty sure that when Hugo Barra was walking around at OC5 and it had that huge giant wall of all those logos, all the game company logos that were there, High Voltage Software was one of the logos that was up on the board. So yeah, these guys are probably working on a Oculus Quest game. So we'll have to look forward to that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for today's Shiz Show, and I need to bounce the hell out of here. But yeah, so let me go ahead and get my logo and get out of here. It's going to be coffee time. Coffee time, brah. It's time for some Pete's Major Dickinson. Some Pete's Major Dickinson. All right, well, that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode of VR 365. Today, of course, was May 9th, Thursday. And I will be back tomorrow on Friday. And you know what? Exciting news, ladies and gentlebots. Exciting news for Friday's show. Because now this is not locked in stone. It's not absolutely locked in stone. But we are hoping that this is going to happen. Let me go to YouTube and show you what I'm talking about here. I am hoping to have my first dual guess ever. And it's rendered reality. Rendered reality, yeah. The guys, Tyler and Sean, both of them might, emphasis on the word might, both of them might be on the show tomorrow. We might start a little bit later than normal to allow them time, to get home from work and stuff. But I might have 2 live guests on tomorrow. If everything works out great, I'll have both Sean and Tyler. And we're going to talk Valve Index, Oculus Quest. We'll talk any of the day's news, all kinds of things, that might possibly happen. So I'm hoping to have both of these guys on tomorrow. And so far, I've only ever had 1 guest at a time on this show. But we are going to try to see if we can make it happen and have 2 guests. So there will be 3 talking heads floating around in my OBS. And they got an exclusive look at, did they play Lo-Fi? Oh my God. Did these guys play Lo-Fi? Lucky dogs. Well, I'll talk to them about Lo-Fi and any of the other games that they may have been playing recently. Starting up a YouTube channel. They're doing pretty good. They've bounced up to 564 subscribers. I really like what they're doing over here. And so I hope to talk to both of them tomorrow, and we'll get their takes on all kinds of things. So I'm looking forward to that. So look forward to that tomorrow, guys. But yeah, I do need to bounce out of here. It is coffee time. So I will see everybody tomorrow. See you then. Take it easy. Have a good one. Later.